I don't even know some crazy bit we did about with Joanne and her big, humongous heart. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They're trying to map it. They called in a cartologist. Is that what it's called? Cartographer? Cartographer. They called in a cartographer to map out Joanne's heart. They want to make sure they understand all the regions, you know? Like, they can't go and, you know, all of a sudden not have an idea, you know, what's happening in this quadrant, you know? So they needed the best, you know? Called Mark Jellin. Mark Jellin was known for his cartography skills, which is why they sent him on the journey around the globe to cartographer, to cartography, to go out there and be a cartographer. We want you to go and make a globe for us, Mark Jellin. Bring Francesco Vigilugi. He's the guy right now. He'll teach you the ropes. Vigilugi was he was a tough teacher. Yeah. Vigilugi. You know, when Vigilugi was like, hey, the best way to do it is like this, I was like, look, Vigilugi, I'm not really sure if that's the best way. Who told you that's the best way? And you learned it from somebody? Who was your teacher? Listen, Francesco, come here. Huh? Which me? This Francesco or the other one? Vigilugi, you. Come here. Oh, yeah, hey, how are you? What's going on? Well, you know, look, this is the way you cartograph. How you cartograph. Is it cartograph? I don't know. This is how you cartograph. Zigzaggedy zoo. You're in it, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're the cartographer number one because you got the information from Francesco. Passed down the line from his master. You know, he's got a lot of Francescos in the room that day. Yeah. No, I want Vigilugi. Get Vigilugi over here. I need to give him a little insight, all right? When Vigilugi got to that pinnacle, you know, wow. You know, they used to throw him on their shoulders, walking through, you know, rooms. They just randomly walking. Ah, Vigilugi! They threw him on the shoulder. And Vigilugi really made it a name for himself. You could still look him up and Google him right now. Let me see, Vigilugi. Vigilugi. Yeah, right here. Also see, hold on, what's that? I'm trying to see it. I don't have my glasses on. Francesco Vigilugi, right here. The information is right here on the screen, guys. Does anybody else, not see the info? It's right there! Vigilugi. See, oh, right there. See Mark Jellin. You know, it's like when people question everything and you've been Mark Jellin, but then randomly there's just a little breadcrumb, you know, a little bit of the residue out there. And all of a sudden you're looking. You're like, oh, wait a second. What is that over there? See Mark Jellin. Bang, biggity boo. All of a sudden, you're onto a trail. You're rabbit holing it, right? You're like, wait a second. It's all coming clear again. I remember Mark Jellin. I remember Mark Della. I remember Abraham Mark Lincoln. 1863 Emancipation Proclamation situation. I did it. It's all coming back to everybody. Michelangelo, Leo Marco, Da Vinci it. You know what I mean? When we did it. Look, when you're Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, you're doing, you know, all of these things at the same time. It's one timeline. You guys think it's like a linear thing. No, I did it all at once. Right now, I'm doing it. Right now. Mark Toven. I wrote it. Look, when you're there, doing it, you know, for the people, because you want to give them something, elevate them, you know what I mean? And then you're there, Mark Toven. You got Mark Toven at the end of it, you know. But it's a shame. It's a shame when most people don't remember all the things you did. Marktorius B.I.G. You're out there doing it, juicy, you know. That was a tough one. I didn't like going out that way. You know what I mean? Like I like going out the way I did was Michelangelo. But going out the way I did is the notorious Mark Torius is just. I'm still doing it though as Mark and M. I'm out there 8 Mile in it. You know what I mean? You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You know what I mean? We're doing it. We're losing ourselves in the music the moment we own it. The moment. You see where I put that in that song? I was just putting a little breadcrumb out there for you so you could put the correlation, the connection. See, it's obviously Mark. He said the moment in that phrase. You gotta lose yourself in the music in the moment. You own it. You know? Breadcrumbing it. Residuals are everywhere, guys, if you decide to look within. The biggest one right here is when you look on and you Google it. You shouldn't Google it, though. You should DuckDuckGo it. But when you DuckDuckGo it, or you Bing it, and you're going and you're getting that info on Vigilugi, go do it. Francesco Vigilugi. Some people go with the hard G. No, it's Vigilugi. You give him Vigilugi, and some people they really gave him a hard time with that last name, Vigilugi. They used to spit at him. Wasn't good. Vigilugi. He had a tough childhood. He grew up in the, it was kind of like what you would call rural. You know what I mean? Like he's out there. He's he's tending to the steer. You know what I mean? And he's doing it. And Francesco, while he was there, just kind of like a regular dude. He's reading a lot. Vigilugi, and then one day he just fell in love with maps. He found a map, and it was like a map of his village, but it was on a piece of paper, and some idiot did it. It was terrible. He's like, this needs to be fixed. I'm gonna go figure out the boundaries of my village. And he's there. He's doing it. Cartography. All of a sudden, Vigilugi starts working his way up the ranks, He catches the eye, Queen Elizabeth. Ooh, guys, Vigilugi is the guy. We need to send him in, for full-time training. Let's get him in there. He's been doing this solo on his own. Cartography? He's pretty advanced for a guy who would self-train cartographer. When you're a self-trained cartographer like Francesco Vigilugi, you're ready to go. You're ready to go. So when you get that letter, and back then it's delivered by postal, and it was weird, way back when, because it would show up 6 months later, and they'd be like, "Hey, you are invited to," but when you get there, the event is over. It was over months ago. They didn't work out the mail situation yet. But you still got the offer, and you're like, I think I'm doing all right here. Vigilugi's starting to get a little confidence, And before you know it, that letter does come. Misses the event, but still he knows Queen Elizabeth is interested in his services. He goes to the castle, You're going to see the Queen. I'm there. I don't know, what do I do? Do I not make eye contact? I didn't know how to handle the Queen situation the first time, you didn't want to go over and hug her. I kind of wanted to. Just be look, I'm Vigilugi, but I didn't give her a hug, I thought it would be necessary to do one of these. And I did that, and I went, and I did a curtsy. It was very awkward. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to curtsy. I got up. I was just kind of oh, Queen. And I thought that was good, right? And then the other one I did, I was and I did those back to back, actually. So I went, oh, Queen. I was and that, that was an interesting. We had a chuckle. We had a chuckle about that. And she goes, oh, Vigilugi. Oh, Vigilugi. I was like, you've got the nicest accent, Queen Mum. And she was very charming, I have to say. The Queen Mum she was very charming. 1613. Vigilugi. When you're talking about cartographers, there's only 2 names, but the one name that comes up all the time, It's Francesco Vigilugi. Look it up. It's there. And the side note, make sure you look. It was on the top of the page, side note. See, Mark Jellin. Mark Jellin, you got it. Mark Jellin, you're opening up your eyes. Your pineal gland just opened up wide. Holy cow, I can't believe it. I've been red-pilled. Open, you're wide awake all of a sudden. I'm awake. I'm real woke. Well, listen, I want you to be real woke, not woke. I want you to be real woke. You know what I mean? Which means like you see it for what it really is. Not for like, I want things to be this way. That's not real woke. So if you could find a Vigilugi map signed with a seal, the Vigilugi seal, which is a spit, he spits on it, you know, because he's just kind of to get back at those people who used to spit at him because of his Vigilugi name. That was his signature. There's no signature really except like a big like blob on the bottom. When you got a big blob situation on the bottom, we DNA search it and we confirm it's a Vigilugi. It's a Vigilugi. You know, this is a world record situation, you know, Christie's auction last year. Vigilugi. Yeah, there's a Vigilugi map of the eastern part of Portugal. Very small section, but it was a Vigilugi special, and it went for record numbers at Christie's. Look it up. You know, when you start finding all of the interesting details about Vigilugi, you start saying to yourself, like, you know what? I think I want to do like a movie on Vigilugi, right? Like, don't you think people want to learn more about this amazing cartographer? Like, he's there doing it. He's laying out the maps. Look, this village is next to that village, and this one goes like that. That's like the life that you want to, you know, that's the guy you want to interview, right? Like, who do you want to interview? And to have like a riveting half hour, like an hour, just like a riveting conversation, and really get the people to be like, they're throwing their popcorn in the mouth. I got more popcorn, right? Vigilugi, right? I mean, who are you going to call? Are you going to call like, all right, we're going to have, I can't think of anybody because I don't like anything. Oh, we're going to have Justin Bieber in. No. Oh, we're going to have Madonna in. No, I'm sorry. Tiger Woods. No, I'm sorry. He can't. He has knee legs. He hurt himself. Car accident. Terrible, actually. It's one of the greatest golfers in history. But no, I'm sorry. Do you need me to help you? Okay. One hint. That's right, Vigilugi. I knew you'd get it when I actually spit at you. That I knew you'd get. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's right, Vigilugi. You know, Vigilugi is probably top 10 historical figure. You know what I mean? The thing is, you probably don't know this, and I just want to make you aware of it. Because of the whole Mark Della situation everywhere. It was really Francesco Vigilugi. Yeah, now you know the truth. Everybody's like, Francesco. The reason why that whole story before never even happened is because when I was there, my mentor, he just said, Francesco, come here, I'm going to talk to you. I want to show you something. And there's only one Francesco there. Everybody else is Francescos. Yeah, we had like a handful of Francescos there that day, that month, that year. Cartography school. My mentor, though, I saw him, and I'm there. Look at me, we're there. And he goes, Francesco, I got something to share with you. And then he went into some weird, thing about how the line can't be straight, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need you to tell me. I've been cartographing for years, doing it like solo. Yeah, amateur style, but you know what? I understand that a line it can't be straight. There is no freaking straight lines when you're a cartographer. And, when you're doing it and you're having that conversation with the master cartographer, you kind of just relent. You're like, yeah, no, go ahead. Man, when he said Mark Chesko, there was no doubt who he was speaking to. It's the other ones, though, when he was like, oh, Francesco, and then, no, not you, not that friend, not that friend, not that friend, that freaking Francesco over there. That was quite annoying. Mark Chesko, yeah, what's up? You see the difference there? Don't you understand what we were doing? Vigilugi. I missed that timeline. It was fun. I really had a great time Vigilugiing it, And it was, again, tough childhood. I dealt with it, though. I did it. When you parted the Red Sea as Marxists, you can do anything. You know what I mean? I didn't have any issues with that. Look, 40 years. I spent like 9 years with friggin' 2 rocks. Thou shalt not, seriously, Mount Sinai? Going up to the top, Mount Sinai? Clickety clackety clue. Getting through the whole thing. Dropped the first set. That was God's laugh. He's laughing. I spent 7 years doing that first set of tablets. Right? That T was forever. The first one was the worst. Literally, the first one you started to gauge how long it was going to take for you to do 10 freaking commandments on 2 huge tablets. These weren't small tablets, guys. These are monster tablets, like slabs. I was carrying slabs. T, 6 hours later with the T. The H, don't even get me started to get that rounded part of the H. Oh my God. 3 days, 4 hours, 15 minutes, 7 seconds. I was like, are you kidding me? What really baffles me, and I said this to you at a different time, but it's true. I mean, come on. You're God. You can't just be like, bing, biggity boo. Here you go. Here's the tablets all ready to go. I had them expertly crafted for you, perfectly notched, so people can read them. Because I don't know how to how am I writing all these things? I didn't have a teacher to write your language. What are we doing here? I didn't go to English class. I didn't go to Aramaic school. You want me to Aramaic it? Oh, okay, thou shalt not. Do you know how hard it was to write thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife in Aramaic? Are you kidding me? Thou? Do you know thou in Aramaic is 74 letters long? 6 years later, I finally got through the first freaking commandment. What are we kidding me? How dare you? Just laser ingrained. Perfect. Thou shalt not ever make me do this again. You know what I mean? What? I mean, I'm not trying to make that a commandment or anything, God, but what are we doing here? You come up here asking me for help. I'm down with the help situation, you know what I mean? But how about you give me a hand on this whole preparing the tablet situation, Because I really want to enjoy this decade. And I lost a decade here. I came out jacked. Like Schwarzenegger when he was juicing. Yeah. Mr. Olympian. I'll be back. I'm there doing it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You didn't realize that either. That was me, did you? It's hard. It's hard when you go through life and you're doing it all. Mark Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Right now my voice is a little. But when you do it, and you get credit, and people are like, that guy right there, I think he'd be perfect opposite Danny DeVito. Right? Doing a twin situation? That was one of my finest moments. Mark Schwarzenegger, come here. We have a perfect role for you. This one. So the guy named Danny DeVito, he's 3'7". You're 9'2". and you're about as wide as he is tall. We have a perfect match for you. Yeah. DeVito? You don't know DeVito? Yeah. He's your twin. That's the movie. He's your identical twin, by the way. Yeah. They basically, like, he is one of your arms. They cloned his arm, your arm, and made him. They couldn't make another of you. That would have required more fetal cells, and we didn't want to go there, you know. So remember, it all started with Vigilugi, you know. When you're doing it, though, Vigilugi, Mark Schwarzenegger, you know, Mark Claude Van Damme, you know, like these things happened. You know, kickboxer, you're doing it, you know, Bloodsport. You know, I didn't like it. When I was in the middle of Bloodsport, and they crippled my brother in that, you know, that fight, you know, and I had to go back and have a little revenge. Yeah. I got my revenge at the end. Tong Po? I took out Tong Po. You don't want to mess with Tong Po. He's got freaking glass on his fist. He's going like this. He's fighting like this. And he's got glass on his fists. And then they kidnapped, you know, my brother. And they were going to keep him and kill him. But then my friend, who was a Vietnam vet, found him and shot them all. Saved my brother. There's still time for me to beat the hell out of Tong Po. Listen, Tong Po had nothing on me. That's why they needed to steal my brother. Right? Like, nobody realizes, like, if it was head up, and they're like, okay, buddy, you and Tong Po, round two in it, Tong Po couldn't even get a shot in on me, you know? But I had to let him hit me. But look, that's what made a Mark Claude Van Damme movie, you know, a Mark Claude Van Damme movie. You got to make sure you hit him from all sides, right? You know, that's the beauty of it, you know. Chuck Marcus. When I was Chuck Marcus and I was across from Bruce Lee, you know, and we did it, that was pretty cool. And also in that movie, I don't know if you recall, but there was another fight scene, and I was in that one as well. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That one doesn't work. Oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know, I was the master of the hook shot. You know, we did it. You know, it's just unbelievable how many people, historical figures I've been, you know, you start thinking about it. You're like, holy freaking cow. Like, this is crazy. It is. John Mark Gerald Kennedy. I mean, that was another one, too, when I was Mark Gerald Kennedy. Some people used to call me Mark Gerald when I was there in the Oval, you know. I was like, ask not what your country could do for you, what you could do for your country. I did it, you know. And I was there, you know. John, Mark Gerald Kennedy. Mark Dellett. It's getting a little, you know, I guess I would say frustrating to remind you guys that you're Mark Dellett. But it seems so clear, you know, when you see Mark Jellin. Oh, no. It all opens up to you. That's what someone should send to Brian Stavely. Send it to Stavely so he knows. Because he's out there talking about Mandela. And that's just not factual, you know. Close. I mean, the concept is there. You know, everything else is there. Things changed. Everything changes. People think things keep changing. But also the original thing changed, you know. He's like, yeah, I remember Mandela. No, you don't. You think you do. You were Mandela. You were Mark Dellett in the Mandela situation, and now you're thinking back and you don't remember Mark Dellett. You only remember Mandela. And that's because they did the Mark Dellett. So hard to explain that to everybody. You need to go forward, to go backwards, to go forward, to go backwards, and then again forward to get backwards. Yeah, none of it makes sense, I know. You know, when you Mark Della a situation and you're in 2 hours, 25 minutes into a show, and you decide to finish off a program with some crazy new bit called, I don't know what the hell that was. Vigilugi is what it's called. Francesco Vigilugi, your cartographer. And remember, next time you're out tag sailing it like Gary V. Guys, crushing it. I'm out at a tag sale. I'm crushing it. I got to tell Gary when we're out again, look for a Vigilugi. If you can find a Vigilugi, remember, right in the corner of that map, that's a Vigilugi right there. Big money. Christie's, go look. It was there. I'm talking about I think it was 12 digits. Yeah, for a Vigilug. It's for a small village, guys. You can find, if you find the one, there's a holy grail of Vigilugis. It's called the world map. If you can find the world map of Vigilugi, woo! Wait till you see the Antarctica version of Vigilugi's map. That's the one they say is most accurate of the planet. It takes up 3/4 of the planet, literally. We think that we are in no. Vigilugi has the complete edition, and if you can find it, you may have to go to the Smithsonian to see the one known copy. There's one copy at the Smithsonian. You go there, you tell them that I sent you, they'll give you a 10% discount affiliate situation, and when you go, you're getting a Vigilugi. You know, I do what I can to give back, you know? So, fam and friends, that's the way to end the show. That's what we like to do. Come up with something new. Oh, Bradley, my friend, Pamela, MJ, my brother Rob, thanks for kicking with me all night again. Jacqueline, you rock. Anybody else that's here, please say goodnight because I can't see who's on with us. But I will say that I had another awesome night with you. Day 1021 in a row. And guess what? Tomorrow, we do it all over again. So, until then, fam and friends, it's Mark Pires. You got to go away. And it's Renaissance, man. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Go away now. You got to go away. You got to go away.